All right, welcome back to Pump. Hope anybody sore today? I am very sore. I'm very sore. We're just talking about I couldn't figure out if it's from physical therapy or from class, but I'm definitely sore. This is your first time with us. Thanks for being here. A little bit about the class. We'll start with a 6-minute warm-up at the get-go. We'll have a 10-minute cool-down stretch routine at the end. If you're online, all the equipment you'll need are the movements we have are right underneath the video you're watching right now, so go and take a look at that. You can kind of get your space set up before class starts. Today, dumbbell, heavy, mat, and then a step. So whenever we have kind of a heavier day, kind of remembering we're not trying to do necessarily the same amount of reps or the same speed with movements. We're focusing on trying to go a little bit heavier with that. Anytime we are, remember, stay really controlled with it. You can do a little bit slower reps. Let's say maybe you get 10 reps normally on a certain movement. Maybe you get 5 on a heavy day. So you're just really working on overloading that muscle, getting a lot more of that neural input, okay, slowing it down, being really intentional about what muscles are working, okay. If you're ever not as comfortable with heavy or you're newer to the class, no pressure as far as like going heavy. We just throw these in here every now and again. Movements that we have today, dumbbell bench press. So this one, we've done it a few times. So laying on the bench, really remember shoulder blades backing down, lift that chest up, okay? That puts that chest in a position to be active through that press. When those hands come down, hands are gonna be right outside of that pec line, okay? Elbows are kind of in that 45. We don't want those elbows high and wide, okay? So really allow them to come low. We really wanna make sure we're feeling that stretch through the chest on the way down and that press through the chest on the way up. If your shoulder or your tricep is more sore than your chest, that's kind of a sign. Pay attention to that. That's letting you know I'm not using my chest as much as I should. I sent out a message a while ago about chest activation, so I'll be setting up a outside of class meeting if anybody wants to look at that for some different tutorials, tips and tricks and things. We'll spend some time learning how to activate that chest. if you are finding a struggle with that. This one, so it's 2 in a row. We're just doing one side for 30 seconds, then switching over to that other side for 30 seconds, okay? So just back and forth. You only need to hold one weight at a time, okay? If you want to hold 2, you can, totally up to you. If you're only holding 1, it adds a lot more core control as your body's gonna wanna twist towards wherever side is holding that weight. So up to you on how you wanna do that. If you're at home for this one, there's a couple different things you can do. One, you can do push-ups for one set of those. The other movement, you can do burpees. You're going to love burpees at home if you don't have the weights. Next movement we got in here is going to be weighted lunges, okay? As always, you can get rid of the weighted portion if you want. Again, we're doing heavier, so thinking of slower, controlled. Make sure it's really good form. We're loading the glute, not just that quad, okay? Weights even on that foot. All things is normal. With that, you can do overhead weight, single weight on the side, 2 weights on the side, you can kind of do your own thing as far as that on if you want more of that core work or a little bit less of that. Next movement we have on here is going to be that bent over row. Same thing, it's a little bit heavier, so slowing that down. So we're in the bent over row position, we're pushing those hips back, dropping that chest. You can either do the high row or low row. If you're doing the high row, usually you're going to need a little bit lighter weight for that. But if we're doing the low row, shoulder blades back and down, you're pulling those elbows back and in. Remember, if you're ever not feeling those lats activate, think of squeezing those elbows in. That helps to activate the lats in that position. It'll give you the feel of what that muscle feels like when it's active, then try to keep it active on the way down, on the way back up. For that one, if you're at home, no stress, you can do those T squeezes, okay? So those thumbs are up and high, and you're squeezing, okay? Might not be able to do heavy if you don't have the weight, but that's okay. Next one we got is single arm clean and press. I don't think we've done snatches or anything like that this session, have we? No. So this one's similar to a snatch, but it's kind of like a halfway. So similar to a clean, but we're only doing one weight, one side at a time, okay? So with this one, kind of like whenever we would do snatches, we start in the middle, power from the floor up, catch that weight at the top, okay? What we're doing with this one, start in the center. Basically, you're going to clean that weight up, catch it at the shoulder, a little bit of a dip, and then an overhead press, okay? We're getting rid of that full from floor to snatch motion because we're going a bit heavier today. If you're not as comfortable with this movement or you haven't done it before, you don't need to go heavy at all, okay? Learn that movement, get it down, and then we can always cycle back when we have a heavy day again with it. So, remembering, starting in the center, when we go back in that position, we want to make sure we're not shifting our weight or doing anything funny as far as that placement as we do the movement. Keep those hips squared, load those glutes, weight comes in the center, pushing those hips up almost like a kettlebell swing kind of, except for we're pulling straight up instead of out, cleaning, shrugging up, catching that weight, and then pressing it overhead, okay? I'll be going around for these too, so if you have any questions on that, just let me know. Next movement we got is incline chest press. So the chest press portion of this one is optional if you want a little bit more chest work towards the end, but this one is also going to be a lot of core work. So this is one kind of like, it's like the boat pose hold. So we're in that position, okay? Low back is pulled in. We don't want it to push out. Shoulder blades back and down. That chest is up. Make sure you're keeping that head in line as much as possible with the body. We don't want to be pushing that head and neck forward, okay? So basically, you start up from an upright position. You just lean back as far as you can control it until it feels like, oh, that's really difficult, and then you're just holding that position. If you're wanting to add a little bit of that chest work, you don't necessarily do as far as a lean, but you're taking that weight in the center and just pressing it up, okay? One thing with that one is, actually, let's do it together. Well, I'll make you all sit down. Just because this one's, you don't want your shoulders to overly take over with this movement. You want to try to keep it as much in the chest as possible. So we'll sit up, low back's pulled in, shoulder blades back and down, chest up, and you're just going to kind of lean back a little bit. Since we don't have weight right now, we're just going to push your palms together, okay? Don't let those shoulders roll forward. Keep them back and down, chest up. When you press together, you should be feeling that squeeze in the chest, okay? That's that initial spot where that squeeze is hitting. Then think of pressing up, push those elbows in as you go up, and you should feel that squeeze start to come a little bit more towards the center of the pec, of the chest, okay? When you go up, that's about as far as you're moving. If you go any further, the shoulders are starting to take over and that chest is disengaging, okay? So it's just a small movement, a little bit of a press. You can do it just with your hands if you don't want that weight as well, okay? Next one we got are the toe touches. So this is where we're coming onto our back. Feet are staying up, okay? You're just coming up, tapping. You can, again, find whatever tempo feels sustainable in that. Remember, try to stay really controlled, stay braced, stay connected through the floor on those movements. If you are at home for the single arm clean and press. We're gonna have you do something a little bit different, okay? One of those, we're gonna switch it up and have you do that downward dog press. So you can go ahead, you can be in that position, kind of like when we do the inchworms, and you can either hold that position or you can dip the head towards the floor for a shoulder press, okay? On the next movement, you can come up and do manual arm bicep tricep curls, okay? You can do 30 seconds here, go back down to the downward dog press. On the next one, switch over to the opposite arm, okay? This is a tough class to follow without weights, but we'll always have an option for you. Any questions on any of those movements? All right, let's do it. All right, starting with those jumping jacks. Keep that core strong, stay braced. Remember, on the warm-up, we're not overly pushing, just about 40-50% effort. If you want to minimize that impact to start, you can be right here as you warm up those joints, those muscles. Keep that bracing, that pelvic floor, pulling it up and in, keeping that core strong, holding that lift. Air squats. Pushing those hips back and down, knees stay in line with those toes. Remember, strong from the floor up. Strong through the arches, strong up through the legs, quads, hamstrings into those glutes. Into that brace, that lift. Good job. Marches, driving those knees up in front. Try to use that core, put a little core into that knee drive, make it a little bit stronger. You can almost think if somebody was resisting that knee drive, you could still drive through that resistance. Lunges, alternating. Same thing, strong from the floor, that arch is strong, knees in line with that toe, that glutes on. Focus on that balance. Try not to have any wobble in that move. Arm circles. I love this sunshine. So great. Reverse, opposite direction. Inchworms into those push-ups. Hands under the chest, not under the face on the push-up. Keeping those shoulder blades back and down. Feeling that stretch through that chest. Jumping jacks, round 2. Starting to pick up that tempo, maybe closer to 60, 70% effort. Keep that bracing. Air squats. We're picking up that tempo, but we're still controlling that movement. Weights even on those feet. Knees in line. Those glutes stay on. Keep that bracing. Marches. Still keeping that power in that knee drive. Picking up that tempo a little bit. Lunges. You can add that twist, a little bit of thoracic rotation at the bottom. Your heart's slow, controlled, open and close. Weight still even on that foot. Arch is strong. Knees in line with that toe. That glutes on. Always check that chain. Bracing and control. Arm circles. Reverse. Inchworms into those push-ups. Don't round that low back. Bend those knees to walk out. Take a break. 1 minute. Starting with that dumbbell bench press. Remember, since we're going heavier, a little bit slower, more controlled. Don't let that tension ever move from that muscle into that joint. Keep that muscle tight. Up to you if you want to do two weights, hold on. Just one's just holding active while you're doing the other one, and then switching, or just a single weight. It's going to take a little bit more core control to not let yourself rotate as you do the one arm. Shoulder blades back and down, chest is going to be up. Hands come down right outside of that pec line, okay? If your arm's up here, bring that elbow down. In 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Shoulder blade back and down. That low back's gonna come up a little bit. Wanna feel that stretch through that pec and that contraction through it on the way up. Nice job, stay braced. Nice job, y'all. If you want a little bit more balanced core control, you can lift those legs up off the ground. Don't have to switch, opposite side. Switch, back to that first side. Slow, controlled. Where are you feeling the strain from that movement? Switch. Keep that same quality. If you're not sure what muscle's working, tactile cueing can be helpful. Take that other hand, put your fingers on the muscle you're trying to activate, see if you can feel it working. Let's go, y'all. Switch. Remember, we're not looking to move quick. We're thinking heavy, strong, powerful, controlled movements. Good job. Feel free to take a rest as you need. Switch. Don't let that shoulder round forward. Those scapula are strong the whole time. Chest is lifted up, those shoulder blades are backing down. Don't lose that brace. Switch. Last set, y'all. Let's go. Switch on that final side. Keep that quality, keep that control. Muscle should still be, that chest should be the main one working. Even as you get tired, if you need to slow down that tempo. Take a break. Nice work, y'all. All right, we're not gonna need that step at all again, so you can move it out of the way. If anybody wants, they can stack it on this one. All right, next we got those weighted lunges into those bent over rows. Again, remembering, heavy day, slow, controlled. If you're going a little bit heavier, really be intentional about that balance. Try to not have any wobble in that movement, okay? In 15. In 10 seconds, we're starting. 5, 3, 2, 1, we're lunging. Really keep that control, that stability here. Try not to shrug those shoulders if you're being tense, holding a little bit of weight. Still keep those shoulder blades backing down. Maintain that bracing. Weight's even on that foot. The arch is strong. We're loading that glute. Rows. Don't need as many reps. Slow it down. Control it, really feel that muscle work. You're at full range of motion. Switch back into those lunges. Job, keep that control. Stay braced. Rows. Stay braced. Lunges. Woo. Keep that bracing. Don't let those shoulders round forward. Load those glutes. Weights even on that front leg. Bent over rows. Woo. Let's go, y'all. Lunges. Last one. Keep that brace. Arch strong. Knee in line. Load that glute. Rows. Woo. Last one. Take a break. Woo. Nelly. 1 minute. Remember to feel free. Add those rest periods in. The setup for this one, very similar to that kettlebell swing. Except for you're powering straight up into that catch by the shoulder, then a little dip press. In 3, 2, 1, let's go. Hips are back, power from the lower body of the glutes, shrug, catch that weight at the shoulder, then dip press it up. Nice, and bring it down, staying on that same side, right in between. Pull it up, catch it, a little bit of a dip, shoulder press. Good job. Work. Nice. Switch, opposite side. If you see me switch halfway through, it's because I didn't do the first one. So I got to keep it even. Stay braced. Switch, opposite side. Nice job. Think of power, get some momentum out of the bottom. And that catch, dip, press. Stay braced. Switch, opposite side. Good job. those scapula back and down. Strong. Switch. Opposite side. Keep that brace. Weight even from left to right foot. Switch. Opposite side. Job. Push those hips back on that catch. Don't let the knees go forward. Hips hit back. Job. Opposite side. Last set. Take those breaks as you need them. Try not to overly lean on that overhead press. Stay as squared as you can. Switch. Last one, y'all. Keep that brace. Take a break. Woo. Nice work. Got that incline chest press into those toe touches. I'll tell you now, this is gonna be rough. This is gonna be a toughie. Optional incline press. If you want a little bit of that inner chest development, throw it in there. If you don't necessarily, go and keep it out. Oh, feels so good. Lay down. 10 seconds, y'all. Remember, weight or no weight for that chest press. It's a small movement. We're not going much higher than the face with those hands. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Sit up straight, shoulder blades back down, low back pulled in, chest up. Lean back as far as you can control it. Don't let that head jut forward. Keep it back. If you want that little bit of a chest focus, you can be right here. Squeeze is coming through the pecs, not the shoulders. Toe taps. Maybe don't put a weight behind your head. It's a bad idea. Oh, and you don't have to get to the toe. You can go to the ankle, the shin, or the toe. Don't have to get all the way to the toe. There's called toe taps. Low back pressed into the floor. Incline. I told you it's going to be a tough core one. Don't let that low back push out. Don't let that head jump forward. Stay braced, keep that pelvic floor up and in. Don't let it fall out. Toe taps. We're down. Low back pressed into the floor. Take those breaks as you need. Incline. Oh. Solid stuff, solid stuff. If you're doing those chest squeezes, where are you feeling that squeeze? The chest or the shoulder? Stay braced. Pelvic floor up and in. Toe taps. If the toe taps are tough, just hold the legs up. Low back press into the floor. Just keep that hold as long as you can. Incline. Oh. Oh. Last one, y'all. Let's go. Don't lose that bracing. Toe taps. We got it, y'all. Low back into the floor. Keep that core on. Take a break. Oh. So hard sitting up afterwards. My peeps at home. Nice job today. My peeps in class. Nice work. Nice job. Yeah. As long as you got that with them, keep coming. Nice job today. Nice job, J Squad. Oh, I got her there the last second. Nice job. Nice work. Nice job, Matthew. Nice work, Jesus. Oops, sorry. Trying to trip you. Nope, not quite that bright still. That one's all, huh? When you're wet? Oh, that's actually, those types of supersets are so hard as like the core is just failing and your like hip flexors want to take over and you're like, no, get it back in there, get that core working again. Woo. Whenever you're ready, we'll start to slow that breath down. We're gonna breathe into the nose, out through the mouth. On those inhales, bring that breath down into that deep belly. Don't have to match my breathing rate, don't have to match your neighbor's, just let your breath guide you. that next exhale, go and release. Pull that arm across. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, have a nice night. Remember, keep that shoulder blade back and down. Holds that arm in position. Puts that stretch into that rear delt versus pushing it into the back. Anybody overly sore anywhere? Biceps? Hamstrings? Stomach? Hi. Go and release, switch over to that opposite side. Bring that scapula back and down. Try not to shrug those shoulders. Keeping that slight brace posture through all these stretches. Stretching a little further on each exhale. When you're ready, go and release and switch. Pull the arm behind, grab that elbow, and bring that back hand in between those scapula. When you're ready, go and release and switch. Scapula strong through this stretch. Helps hold that humerus in position. As you're ready, go ahead and release. We're going to bring those arms back, pull those fingertips back. We're going to hyperextend those elbows a little bit, looking for that stretch through that bicep. Feel free to kind of move around, find where you get that best stretch into that bicep. It's going to be a little bit different for everybody. Once you find that spot, feel free if you want to pull those fingertips back. Stretching through those forearms as well. And breathe. When you're ready, go and release. Bring those hands behind the back, interlock fingers, shoulder blades back and down, chest up and open. We're going to roll that head and neck. Go ahead and release. We're going to inhale up into the nose. On that exhale, coming down into that full floor spot, pushing those hips back and down. Always feel free to adjust those feet. Once you have those heels down, elbows to the inside knees, palms together, go and press those palms down. You want a little bit more opening through those hips. Feel free to move a little bit around. That hip in the socket a little bit. Ready, go and drop it down into the plank. We're going to inhale that right ankle up. On that exhale, drive that knee through, bringing that foot across for that pigeon stretch. Working on keeping those hips squared. Try not to roll down onto the glute. Keep those shoulder blades back and down. Chest up as much as you can. And as you release, and lower yourself down into that stretch. On these longer holds, remember to make every third or fourth inhale a little bit deeper. Helps to show you where that tension is. And breathe. Whenever you're ready, slowly bring yourself up out of that stretch. Tuck that back toe, step it up into a plank. We're going to inhale that left ankle up. On that exhale, drive that knee through. Bring that foot up and across. You can wiggle that back leg back a little bit further. Try to keep those hips squared. Shoulder blades back and down. Keep that chest up, low back pulled in. And as you release into that stretch, you slowly bring yourself a bit deeper. Every third or fourth inhale, now a little bit deeper, find where that tension's hiding. Exhale it out. As you're ready, you can slowly bring yourself up out of that stretch. You're going to step that foot back, drop down to the knees, and all the way down onto our stomachs. Here, go ahead and pull those elbows underneath the shoulders, palms come down, and we're gonna move into that Sphinx pose. So here, try to show off the glutes, the lower body. We don't overly wanna flex there. Sometimes giving them a little wiggle can kind of help to know if you have them engaged, because they won't move very well. And then when you're ready, go and lift that head up and breathe. Trying to feel that stretch through the abdominals, through the core. A little bit in that low back. Pay attention that those glutes aren't activating. Find you can hold that position for 2 or 3 breaths. Go and raise a little taller. Deep. If you're ready, go and release back down. I'm going to put one more stretch in here. Going to extend that left arm 90 degrees. Right hand comes underneath that shoulder. We're going to lift that left ankle up and roll over that opposite side, dropping that ankle foot down onto the ground. What did I say? Oh, right ankle. I lied. Whichever arm is extended at 90, that opposite leg is going over to that same side. So it's going to be all through the torso, through the shoulder. And breathe. Whenever you're ready, go and roll it back to center. If I knew right from left, it would be less confusing, right? We're going to extend that right arm. Left hand comes underneath the left shoulder. Lift that left ankle up over the top, opening through the torso, through the quads. Remember to breathe here. Sit back to center. We're going to slowly bring ourselves back up to standing. If you want to stay and continue to stretch, feel free. These stretches aren't exhaustive, but we're running out of time. So we're going to finish with those last 3 breaths. Each inhale a little bit deeper down into that belly, and each exhale, exhaling out a little further. The last thank you to yourself for showing up. Thank you to your body for performing for you today. Nice work, everybody. Great job. Only 1 week left of this session, y'all. If you haven't registered for next session, don't forget to do that. That is live right now. We'll open registration to everybody tomorrow. So if you haven't registered yet, make sure. What am I talking about? I never turn anybody away. Just make sure you register. Don't forget homework, good solid dinner, drink lots of water, at least those 6 hours of sleep. Actually, let's change that one. If you feel like you're not quite getting as much sleep as you want, shoot for a little bit more. That's going to be the new goal. With that, on our off week, our normal meeting times, I'm just going to host a couple workshops. As far as we'll have a class here, it'll be working on different things like the chest engagement, form on certain movements, basically things like that. So if there's any sort of movements you feel iffy about, want some little bit more one-on-one type work with those. I'll send you out an invite for all those, but feel free to come. Send me an email or a message if there's certain things you want to see on those 2 days that you're looking for, and I'll get some content ready for that. But if you're with us online, thanks for being here. Have a nice night. We'll see you next week.